Hello, I'm Randy Pleva, the National President of Paralyzed Veterans of America. You know, 62 years ago, a band of seriously wounded brothers who risked life and lost limbs for our cherished freedoms came back from World War II. These heroes returned home to a grateful nation and to a world with few solutions to the new challenges that they face. But they made a decision, not just to live free, but to live with dignity. They created Paralyzed Veterans of America, born out of a strong leadership, continuing service, and a clear vision that all seriously wounded veterans and their families should be empowered with everything they need to thrive. You know, today our band of paralyzed brothers and sisters have grown in numbers, and over the years, through the work of our 34 chapters and national office, the Paralyzed Veterans family is winning this fight. You know, we are very proud of what we have achieved, and folks, let me tell you, we need to achieve a lot more for all paralyzed veterans, from the greatest generation to the latest generation. Please join us in this fight, and please enjoy a year in the life of Paralyzed Veterans of America. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nick Orchowski, U.S. Army veteran, and at 24, one of the newest members of Paralyzed Veterans of America. I enlisted in the Army just after 9/11 and was deployed to Iraq, where my Humvee was ambushed.
As a young wife, I was frightened when I saw Nick in the hospital. The doctor told us he was paralyzed and would never walk again. Shortly after, a National Service Officer from Paralyzed Veterans of America met with us. He understood what Nick was facing and explained the importance of the benefits and health care that Nick urgently needed.
I felt powerless in that hospital bed. I'm so thankful to Paralyzed Veterans for their expert knowledge in helping me and my family get the critical VA benefits we depend on.
Paralyzed Veterans of America works to ensure that our veterans receive the highest quality health care and benefits they've earned through their service to our country. Our National Service Officers work directly with our veterans to identify their needs and assist in securing their benefits. Paralyzed Veterans of America also fights for veterans by collaborating on an important policy document, the Independent Budget, which makes funding recommendations to the Department of Veterans Affairs. Paralyzed Veterans President Randy Pleva testified before Congress about closing the current funding shortage.
A veteran is a veteran. I don't care if he's combat wounded or he's not combat wounded. When he signed that paper to go into the service, he put his all for this country. And I think at least the country could give their all back to the veteran. I really do.
And Congress responded by allocating funds to close the gap.
When Nick experienced a life-changing injury, our whole family did. The doctor told us that his condition would never improve.
I was paralyzed from the neck down for 4.5 months, with no feeling and no function. I couldn't talk or even produce tears to let my family know how I felt. After multiple surgeries, and against all odds, I regained some function.
Nick is our miracle, but we need more than miracles for the countless paralyzed veterans who depend on research to help find a cure for paralysis.
That's why Paralyzed Veterans is leading the way by funding innovative spinal cord research and by educating the next generation of spinal cord injury professionals. There's so much we don't know about spinal cord injuries.
This year, Paralyzed Veterans Research Foundation awarded nearly $1.5 million for 13 grants, and our Education Foundation awarded $470,000 for 11 grants. And we continue to be a major funder of the Center for Neuroscience and Regeneration Research at Yale University. Thanks to the vision of Paralyzed Veterans leadership, we will become the major sponsor of the Congress on Spinal Cord Medicine and Rehabilitation, which will bring together 4 major associations committed to the holistic treatment of SCI. To continue to improve medical care, Paralyzed Veterans and the Consortium for Spinal Cord Medicine work together to develop clinical practice guidelines and consumer guides. The most recent, Early Acute Management in Adults with Spinal Cord Injury, a clinical practice guideline for healthcare providers, focuses on the first 72 hours after a spinal cord injury, a critical time for survival and retention of optimal function.
Lying in bed after a spinal cord injury, most veterans feel their lives are over. But Paralyzed Veterans of America's sports and recreation programs shows us we can reconnect with life.
wheelchair sports and recreation activities are exciting for participants and audiences alike, but also represents rehab at its best for veterans recovering from serious injuries. Paralyzed Veterans Sports and Recreation Program offers several adaptive recreational opportunities, from bass fishing and trap shooting to billiards and bowling. We also co-present with the Department of Veterans Affairs the National Veterans Wheelchair Games, the largest annual wheelchair sports event in the world. Sports and recreation builds camaraderie, friendships that will last a lifetime, and gets our members back into life, showing them what they can do.
Accessibility is something we often take for granted when we don't have a disability. But when someone in your life does, it changes everything.
Getting out with my family and attending sporting events is important to me. But what if the stadium isn't accessible? People who use wheelchairs need clear access to enjoy life to the fullest. Whether at home, at work, or out in the community, Paralyzed Veterans is leading the charge to make America more accessible.
This year, the Michigan chapter of Paralyzed Veterans won a groundbreaking victory against the University of Michigan, resulting in making its football stadium more accessible for all people with disabilities and their families to enjoy. To raise accessibility awareness within the architecture, design, and building community, Paralyzed Veterans created the Barrier Free America Award in 2001. This award recognizes an individual for the creation of an accessible design project that achieves a barrier-free environment. This year's recipient, Antoine Predock, was recognized for his work in making the Indian Community School of Milwaukee fully accessible.
Paralyzed Veterans of America works every day to empower those who have served and sacrificed so much by helping them get back to work.
Paralyzed Veterans of America opened its second vocational rehabilitation counseling center in Minneapolis, St. Paul. Through an innovative public-private partnership between Paralyzed Veterans, Tri-West Healthcare Alliance, and the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, the center will provide paralyzed veterans with the resources, tools, and training they need to reintegrate into the job market.
Once they're up and they're healthy and we've got them healthy and they're living, now they need to get back into the workforce.
The first center, established last year in Richmond, Virginia, is already helping dozens of paralyzed veterans achieve their employment goals. Another way Paralyzed Veterans empowers injured veterans and others with disabilities is through information. Yes You Can, our popular self-care guide for people with spinal cord injury, is now available free online at pva.org, making this vital self-help information accessible to millions of people with disabilities.
I'm very proud to have served my country, and I'm grateful that Paralyzed Veterans of America is working to help me and many other injured veterans. For over 60 years, they have been fighting to help our veterans and their families get the benefits and services they need to live with dignity.
Our injured veterans have earned the right to live full lives, and I know that Paralyzed Veterans of America will continue to be there for them. And for that, we thank you.
Paralyzed Veterans of America. Leadership. Service. Empowerment. To learn more about Paralyzed Veterans of America and how you can help America's veterans, visit www.pva.org or call 1-866-USA-4PVA. Paralyzed Veterans of America is a nonprofit 501c3 charitable organization, and your donations are tax deductible.